Amy, you were on council previously as an appointee and in a heavily Democratic-leaning election year. You weren't elected. Why do you think this year is going to be any different?
Thank you, Kevin, for the question. I think this year is going to be different because I think people are really upset about some things that have happened on council in the past 2 years. First thing, though, is, we had something on the statewide ballot that year, and so that kind of skewed the election numbers here in the city of Cincinnati and made it a little bit different than it normally is. Without that on the ballot, I think that will change the game. The other thing is what I'm hearing from neighborhoods are people are very, very frustrated at what's going on with council right now. The whole parking meter scheme where we're leasing our parking meters for 30 years. So all of the businesses, the people in the neighborhoods are feeling really like they've been thrown under the bus, if you will, because rates are going to go up in the neighborhoods, hours are going to go up, and so people are really upset about that. People are also upset right now about the cost overruns on the streetcar. And these are two issues that in the neighborhoods people are really upset about. So I think that those folks are going to get out and vote and say we need a change. And also at City Council right now, there's so much lack of transparency. We have all these hidden documents with parking and with streetcar. And I think people are really frustrated with that and say we want to bring someone back to council who's open. Thank you.
Carolyn?
Okay.
Okay.
Amy, you mentioned having a sound fiscal city and the budget in your opening remarks. What specific two actions would you promote to enhance city revenue or decrease city expenditures in order to structurally balance the city budget?
Sure. To enhance city revenues and decrease the budget, the first thing is we need to look at shared services. Mayor Mallory and County Commissioner Hartman had talked about that about 1.5 years ago and said we need to work together because we're both having issues and we can have economies of scale and make better decisions. That was canceled about 4 months later. So I think we need to revisit and look, where can we have economies of scale? Where can we save money and provide better services at a lower cost to the citizens of both the city and the county? That's essential. The other thing I think that we need to do is I do think we need to stop the streetcar. Right now we can't afford it. And I was surprised when our city manager was asked, at what point do we say it's too much? And he said, I haven't thought about that yet. That concerns me because it's not a blank checkbook at this point. And I'm just worried that the streetcar, if it keeps going up in cost, it's going to become our stadium. And in 10, 20 years, we're going to be funding something that we can't afford. Thank you.
Amy is trying to get on city council. Oh, man. Her mom.
In 2011, you opposed extending city benefits to same-sex couples. Have you reconsidered that position, and what would you do to make Cincinnati more inclusive to LGBT individuals?
Sure. I am so glad you asked that because I actually did not say I would not extend benefits. It was a question that the Cincinnati Enquirer asked, would you extend benefits? And that whole campaign, my point was, we can't extend anything unless we cut something. You can't extend benefits to any group unless if you cut somewhere else. And so for me, I am just fine with extending benefits to any group. I'm glad that they have the benefits, but I think we have to cut it somewhere else. If you look at what the county is doing, the county has actually stopped benefits for any spouses, and if you are a county employee and your spouse gets benefits from another company, you have to get your benefits from that company because they're in such a critical budget situation right now. So I'm glad you asked that. I am just fine with extending the benefits, but we need to look and see where we can cut them because we're already in this overrun for the budget and pension, and we have to make smart choices, and we have to stop spending and add where we can. Thank you.
Cincinnati has a 53% child poverty rate, up from 48% in 2010. What steps will you take during the next 4 years to address this issue, child poverty?
I think the one thing we need to do, if 59% of children are at the poverty level, it's because the parents are either not working, they're unemployed or underemployed, and we need to fix that. We need to look at being able to provide meaningful employment for the people in the city of Cincinnati. And so I think by doing that is keeping our job environment vibrant, keeping companies coming to the city and encouraging them with tax incentives and things when they come to the city so that we can employ more folks. Because the more people that are employed, then that will raise or lower that poverty level. The other thing is I think we need to look at faith-based organizations. There's a lot out there like Internet Hospitality Network that we work with. And I think we need to encourage and help those organizations as much as we can because they get to the root of the problems and help with homelessness and help with unemployment and get people into jobs. So I think that's something that we need to focus on. And the other thing is through education. I think the preschool program is something that we must do, as well as these school health centers are just critical to providing the kids the daily help and information they need. My son attends the Cincinnati Public School, and they provide free breakfast every morning. Thank you so much for having me here tonight. I really appreciate it. As Kevin said, I'd been on council in 2011. During that time, I was on a council that made the changes in the pension reform. We didn't kick the can down the road. We said we need to make changes now, and we did. We would have made further changes, but we didn't have the votes to do it. But I will be back on council and be aggressive in helping get the city back in the budget situation that we need so that we can be a thriving community and provide the services that we need to all of our citizens. My name's Amy Murray. You're the jury. Vote for Murray. Thank you.